Alright, boom! I'm gonna be starting a little series where I go over all of the rap beefs to ever rap beef. Today, Pusha T versus Drake. Now, I do remember this rap beef. I wasn't that in tune with that. I was more in tune with the Meek Mill and Drake and Kendrick and Drake, everybody else and Drake. But today we're gonna be watching Trap Lord Ross video of the entire beef between Pusha T and Mr. Aubrey Graham.
You playing chess? Man, I'm playing chess, Othello.
That's a good
backgammon.
Drizzy Drake has made it no secret how much of a Pusha T and Clips fan he was earlier in his career. All the way back in 2009, he was telling—
I have heard the diss tracks on W Freestyle. This man was like, I had a microphone of yours with the signature, but the signature is fading. How are you bragging about having like something that represents Pusha T?
Peter Rosenberg that—
I don't know. Drake is just, might just be doing and saying stuff, bro.
His favorite albums were Kanye's Graduation and the Clips' Lord.
Oh my gosh, Graduation. Let me know in the comments if I should react to Clips. The Clips album.
Lord willing.
Clips. Jesus in the backseat.
That his favorite albums were Kanye's
Bro, that's Jesus in the
Graduation and the Clips' Lord willing.
Clips Lord willing. I used to just burn that record down. My God, I love that record.
Hell, if that wasn't enough, a young Drake famously copped a signed Pusha T microphone from eBay.
I just said that. When Drake said I had a
microphone of yours with the signature faded, he was referring to this. He told MTV when I was 17 he bought a 200 plastic mic that was supposedly signed by Pusha T because he was a huge Clips fan. It meant the world to me.
Yeah, I was looking for like autograph stuff from Clips because I was like a really, really big Clips fan. This guy in Virginia that's supposed—
Okay, wait. I don't know why they started beefing. I know it got something to do with Lil Wayne and Birdman and Pharrell, but I don't know like the exact reason why. Wait, Pusha T and Drake beef because of 3 other niggas? Is that what you're telling me?
supposedly had a microphone that Pusha T used during the show. It was like plastic, but it had his autograph. I used to pretend I was doing interviews on the red carpet and perform all the Clip songs in my basement with the mic.
Yeah, dog, you know, I pretend to do—
That's dick riding. Crazy dick riding. Drake said he could never be no one's Drake said he could never be no one's #1 fan, but
do interviews with it, rap into it, put it in my butthole. But of course, we all know Drake's come up was facilitated in a big way by his day one mentor, Lil Wayne, who signed Drake to his own Young Money imprint under the umbrella of Birdman's Cash Money Records. And considering how much success Drake has had since signing with Wayne and Birdman, you can just imagine how loyal Drake must be to his day ones. Hell, considering how much money these 3 have made together—
Drake can't be that loyal to his day ones. Look, I don't get that, bro. I don't get how... Bro, I don't get Lil Wayne and Drake's whole relationship, bro. This nigga Drake fucked your girl while you was in jail. The nigga is super cool with the nigga that tried to kill you, bro. Young Thug allegedly shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus. He over there singing, talking about, I can't sleep because Thug in Cobb County Corrections. He was running to Atlanta when you needed a check balance. Nigga was making you feel like you was a slime in your head, as Kendrick say. But
as we saw in the previous video on the
they gotta be worst tattoo placements of all time. On the top of your head.
Long feud between Pusha T and Drake's mentor Lil Wayne. Push and Weezy had fallen out all the way back in the noughties, apparently after Birdman does what Birdman does best and stiffed Pharrell Williams on some royalties. And it was from this mythical unpaid invoice that things escalated into a full-blown clout war when Pharrell and Pusha T begun to accuse Lil Wayne of jacking their fashion style when he swapped in his oversized jerseys for bathing ape.
Pusha T was pushing a bathing ape? I feel like Pusha T be wearing like Nautica or some shit, like some goddamn fucking polo assassin or some shit. Like I don't know. I just don't know what Pusha T like. What does a Pusha T outfit look like? What does a Pusha T outfit look like? I know Pharrell be putting that shit on. Wayne was putting that shit on like in this era. On the right, the arrow on the left, the nigga looked like he was homeless.
Hoodies.
Nigga looked like he was He was one of those YNs.
Wayne rebuffed Skateboard P and Pusha T, saying he was the one that made Bape hot, and inferring that Pusha ain't safe in New Orleans. After this, Pusha ended up taking a big old dookie on Lil Wayne with the scathing diss track Exodus 23:1. Wayne of course tried to counter Pusha T's diss with his embarrassingly lackluster response Ghoulish, which was universally panned by rap fans. Scathing diss track Exodus 23:1. Wayne of course tried taking a big old dookie on Lil Wayne with the scathing diss track Exodus 23:1. Wayne
Exodus 23:1. Bro hit him with a Bible verse. Bro, let me know if I should react to that song. But let's look at what the Bible verse say. Pay attention to him and obey his voice. Do not rebel against him. He will forgive your rebellion.
of course tried to counter Pusha T's diss with his embarrassingly lackluster response Ghoulish.
Ghoulish by Lil Wayne. Niggas spelled ghoulish wrong. Niggas spelled ghoul wrong. No, he didn't. Am I stupid? I might be. Let me see it. He did spell ghoul wrong. Wait, no. Bro, I feel like ghoul is one of those words that you can spell like 15 different ways. You can spell it with an H. You can spell it with a W.
Which was universally panned by rap fans, placing it truly where it belonged in the hip-hop beef dustbin, alongside Meek Mill's Wanna Know, Machine Gun Kelly.
Niggas is not finna lie, bro. Wanna Know is not ass. Wanna Know is not ass. We gonna go over that in the Meek Mill versus Drake beef. But Wanna Know is not a ass diss. Niggas is dick riders, bro.
Kelly's Rap Devil, and of course Soulja Boy.
Bro, once a narrative get created on the internet, it's like, there's nothing that you could do, bro.
It's fuck Bow Wow.
Soulja Boy can't make a bad song, bro. Niggas don't know that, though. Niggas don't know that. Soulja Boy cannot make a bad song. Soulja Boy cannot make a bad song. You can't tell me nothing, bro. Soulja Boy can't make a bad song. Yeah, what'd he say? What'd he say? Fuck Quavo. Fuck Migos. Pull on the block and I spray with the Draco. Man, come on, man. That's heat. That's heat right there.
Okay, I'll take that back. Fuck Bow Wow is fire. Anyway,
Come on now.
after handing Lil Wayne an
And it is fuck Bow Wow. I ain't never heard a good Bow Wow song.
Oliver Tree scooter-sized L, Pusha T went on to drop the song New Godflow, where he set his intentions clearly, saying that he wanted 3 heads on his mantelpiece. Lil Wayne's, Birdman's, and of course the new Cash Money Wonder Boy, Drake.
Oh. So he brought Drake into this just for no reason.
Lil Wayne's, Birdman,
Through their face, so shave my nuts to escape the head. I've been shaving.
The fuck is this? Drake gets
Now you
involved in Wayne's beef. Alright, if it was one thing if Drake was just like, fuck it, I'm about to hop in this shit just because you dissing my boys, right? But if Pusha T brought him into it, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't hate on Drake. You know what I'm saying? Drake did a real nigga thing. He's standing up for himself.
Now, you might have blinked and completely missed the fact that Drake had already gone at Pusha T on behalf of his crew before Ghoulish.
Never mind. Never mind. Never fucking mind. Never fucking mind. Never fucking mind. Never fucking mind. Drake.
And before Exodus. Drake had already thrown his hat into the ring by sneak dissing Pusha T on the track Dreams Money Can Buy.
Oh my gosh, bro, why?
All the way back in May 2011. Without mentioning him specifically by name, Drake appears to acknowledge his past admiration for Pusha, saying that his favorite rappers either lost it or they ain't alive, and eliminating any doubt that he was going at Pusha T, with a line suggesting that the person going after him is also going after Wayne and Birdman, and then wrapping things up by clearly declaring his allegiance to Wayne and his label Young Money Cash Money, aka YMCMB, aka Young Money Cash Money Billionaires. It's gotta be done. Anyway, Petty Pusha was naturally offended by these not-so-sneaky disses, and proceeded to diss Drake on the very same beat, dropping his own diss track called Don't Fuck With Me around 4 months later in...
Bro, so they got like 1 million... Bro, I gotta react to all these... Whatever this is. What is this? Titties? I don't know. This track.
September 2011. And in contrast to Drake just dropping 3 sneaky lines on a song that's overall about his wild success, Pusha decided instead to go line after line with accusations and put-downs aimed at Drake, suggesting that Drake is a lyric stealer years before.
Oh my gosh, they've been calling this nigga a fucking... Bro, he do repeat a lot of lyrics. I'ma just be honest, bro. His entire, I think it's Every Girl verse. It's old Lil Wayne. It's old Lil Wayne lyrics, bro. I seen the TikTok, bro. I seen it, bro. He reused almost every word on that verse was a Lil Wayne lyric, bro. I don't know how we let Drake get away with all this shit. How?
Meek Mill would do the same thing with disastrous consequences, dropping double entendres that could be interpreted as reference.
The lowest form of a thief is a cat burglar. Tiptoeing, but the whole wow cloning. The nerve of you. He'll sit and clip at your lines like he ain't heard of you.
Drake's lyric stealing and use of ghostwriters, as well as potentially referring to Birdman's royalty stealing.
Nigga call him a cat burglar.
Business practices, something that
cat burglar. Bro, my R's are just crucified.
Push elaborated on sometime later.
You know, if you steal something, then that's just corny. And like, if you
I hate people that steal. That's just so fucking dirty. You dirty bitch.
Steal something and you stealing it like contractually, like that's like the lowest form of a thief. It's like a cat burglar.
He mentions rappers on their sophomores thinking they're boss lords. Potentially
rappers on their sophomores acting like they boss lords. Oh, that's that Drake. That's that Drake. That's that Drake. Fame's such a funny thing for sure. When niggas start believing all the encores, I'm just the one that send you off bonjour.
Clear reference to Drake dropping his second album, Take Care, within 2 months of this diss song being released. Of course, let's not forget the fact that that original Dreams Money Can Buy track.
Hey. Take care? Yeah, I'm gonna react to it.
Was a promo release to build hype for Drake's sophomore album.
I don't even know what's the point of reacting to that because I've heard almost every other song on that album, but fuck it.
And of course, that thinking they're boss lords line fits in nicely with the fact that over the years, Drake has built a reputation for having people beaten up as part of.
Drake may be the nice guy at rap, but the history of violence has followed him. Drake on left, a night out, LA protected by bodyguards. Wait, I didn't know that Drake had a history of getting people beat up. Is this true? Bro, everything this nigga do is just goddamn, bro. It's like fuck. Like, bro. It's hard to be a fan of this nigga, bro. It's hard to be a fan of this nigga, bro. The nigga make it hard. He make it hard.
Of disputes. Something he of course wore on his sleeve later on in his career with the track Mob Ties. Excellent foreshadowing here, Push.
He didn't even make this song! Oh my god. He didn't even make the song. He didn't even make this shit, bro. Guess who made it? I don't know. It's a reference track for this song though.
I mean, this is just one of the many pieces of evidence where Pusha T has so much good foresight for what was going to happen later on this beef. It kind of makes me think that he is the real rap game Terminator. I've been sent back in time to save the rap game from the Ghostwriter 2000.
Bro, they won't, bro. It's too late, bro. If 2012 is the perfect time to take out Drake, niggas ain't do it. The Meek Mill beef, perfect time to take out Drake. Niggas didn't do it. By the time they got to Pusha T, he may have won, but Drake was already too big. You couldn't take him out of the game. The nigga built a legacy already. That's like trying to erase Kobe's every game that Kobe played, all the impact that Kobe has ever made, all the influence that he has brought to the game. You can't erase it. It's there already. It's cemented in history. Oh my god, bro.
Push then goes on to drop another great line, which I personally love because it references one of my favorite underrated comedians. He says, Chappelle Show, all of you Neil Brennan's, sketch comedy, who was for real penning. A reference to the fact Chappelle Show,
Chappelle Show, all you
all of you Neil Brennan's sketch comedy Who Was for Real penning.
I want to react to like TV shows. That'd be funny. That'd be funny and cool.
A reference to the fact that while rarely seen on screen, Dave Chappelle's writing partner Neil Brennan wrote a huge amount of material for their infamous sketch show Chappelle Show, once again referencing Drake's need for a ghostwriter and tendency to take credit for other people's work, in a similar way to how some people would have perceived Dave Chappelle did to Neil Brennan. Though for the record, Dave and Neil did actually have a pact not to tell anybody which part of the shows they specifically wrote, so from a purely comedy perspective this lyric isn't actually accurate. And despite their brief feud after Dave Chappelle fled to Africa, it seems like Neil and Dave are on good terms now, and I would say that Neil Brennan's Netflix special 3 Mics is actually one of the most groundbreaking pieces of conceptual stand-up comedy in a decade. Sorry, I geeked out there for a second. Elsewhere in Don't F With Me, Pusha also disses Drake's fashion sense, saying the talk don't match the leather and the swag don't match the sweaters. Apparently a reference to sense. Sorry, I geeked out there for a second. Elsewhere in Don't F With Me, Pusha also disses Drake's fashion sense, saying the talk don't match the leather and the swag don't match the sweaters.
The talk don't match the leather. And the swag don't match the sweaters. What the fuck does that mean? Produced by 40.
Apparently a reference to Drake's universally panned granddad sweater.
Oh man. Yachty can't give you no swag neither. I don't give a fuck. Bro, what the fuck is... Bro, I ain't gonna lie. This ain't a bad fit. This ain't a bad fit, but it ain't... It's definitely not what he wears now.
That he wore...
Definitely not what he wears now. Hey, I never hated on a nigga style. I never will hate on a nigga style. But the nigga want some kites and that shit. How the fuck you wake up in one day and wearing something entirely different?
The 2011
Like how does your style change overnight?
VMAs. Now, I personally find this lyric particularly ironic because I remember having bought a similarly ugly cardigan from Pusha T's own clothing brand Play Clothes when I was a teenager, but anyway. Pusha also said that daddy's MIA like a dolphin, which could be...
Why is this nigga always going at his dad though? Like, this nigga Pusha T love to talk about Drake not having a father in his life. That's some fucked up ass shit, Pusha T. I'ma just let you know that now. Not a lot of niggas got dads in their life. And that's okay. Fuck them.
Be a reference to Drake's dad Dennis walking out on him as a kid, which you best believe is getting referenced later on in this beef. But of course it's not a Pusha T bar without a hidden second meaning.
Monkey suit Dennis, you parade him. A Steve Harvey suit nigga made him. Always confused that you weren't black enough. Afraid to grow it because your fro wasn't nap enough.
Because he is potentially also using this line.
But that nigga was frying him, gang. That nigga was frying him.
To hint at Birdman, Wayne's fake daddy, of course eventually going MIA by running off with everybody's royalties.
Bro.
Yes, Pusha T went hard on...
This nigga got raw on the side of his face?
Eventually going MIA by running...
Bro, please don't tell me that's all. Oh, what is this? Is that a B or a R? Or a W? The first letter on Birdman's face tattoo. What is this?
Off with every...
That's Bam Ball? What the hell?
Everybody's royalties. Yes, Pusha T went hard on Drake all the way back in 2011, people. Y'all just missed it. But this ain't over. Not by a...
Hi, let me show you how I ace my midterm project.
A long shot. Pusha T's devastating diss track Exodus 23:1 hit Lil Wayne's chest harder than a double dose of Actavis on an empty stomach. But that doesn't mean...
Alright, bro. Hey, Trap Lil Ross, let me tell you something real quick, bro. Let me tell you something real quick. If you don't talk like that in your day-to-day living, don't get on this fucking internet. Don't get on Beyonce's internet and start using lingo and phrases and slang that you've never used in your damn life. It's corny. That's corny. It's corny. Okay? Alright? You hear me? Alright. Let's get back to the video.
Exodus
Hey. Nigga.
This didn't also include a few early prods towards Drake too. There's of course the iconic line about being signed...
Okay, why would you go back? Bro, alright, whatever the fuck. Contract all fucked up. I guess that means you all fucked up. You signed to one nigga that signed to another nigga that signed to 3 niggas. Now that's bad luck. Shit. The Game was on this song? Was the oh, that says the dream. I thought the dream was the game for a second. I thought that said the game. I'm slow as shit.
To one guy, who's signed to another guy, who's signed to 3 guys, which is of course in many ways just as, if not more, disrespectful to Drake, who himself
He was signed to a nigga that signed to a nigga that said he was signed to that nigga.
is signed to Wayne. So if Exodus was an early hint, if not more disrespectful to Drake, who himself is signed to Wayne. So if Exodus was an early hint that Pusha was planning to go at Drake, it was Pusha's verse on that track, New Godflow, that was the declaration of war. We actually left off in the last video about Pusha and Wayne's beef in a Hip Hop Wired interview, where Pusha made it specifically clear that he was dissing Cash Money and Birdman on that track New Godflow with Kanye West. And Pusha T made it very clear in this interview that this was a direct warning to Drake, essentially saying that he is ready to step up and get involved in that proxy war that had already been bubbling between.
Hold up, HHW. To a lot of people, it may seem a little more deeper than that. The ties with you and Kanye, and people were saying Drake throws shots at him and Kanye, and your man. You don't know that quote word that is going on. Push. But you know what? Wait, what? But you know what? I'm glad people do it. I'm glad. Fuck. Push. But you know what? I'm glad people do peep this shit. I'm just not one to take shots. I'm not one to take shots like that. Some people are at the level of their careers, like Ye is at a level of his career where he shouldn't even respond. Like he shouldn't even hear a lot of shots. I don't know if he hears shots or even pays attention to it. I'm petty. We're talking about Wayne and Drake right now. I'm talking about whole shit. I hear shit and I'm petty. I feel like I maybe just remain cordial with Ye and them on so forth. I'm not looking past that shit. I'm really not for it. I feel like I have a lot to lose. These guys are major, man, and they make good music.
Between Drake and Kanye.
Wait, who is HHW?
Said in this interview that Kanye is at a level where he shouldn't even respond
Hip Hop Wired
to Drake, saying that he should just leave the rap game Terminator to dish out cold hard justice. I am the Pusha T 1000. Any attempts to diss good music will be met with immediate termination. Now, the Kanye Drake beef is a whole other saga, and if you're not up to speed on that, go watch my 1 hour video on it.
1 hour of Kanye and Drake. Okay, so should I just get all Drake's beefs out the way? Cause this nigga done beefed with everybody and they fucking mama. Jesus Christ. I got beef with that nigga. Fuck you, Drake.
But as we learned by the fact that Pusha T was ready for war when his previous label boss Pharrell got shafted by Cash Money, we know that Pusha T is fiercely protective of whoever is giving him his opportunities. So after signing Pusha in 2010, Kanye had clearly got himself some bona fide microphone muscle. And this is exemplified further by the fact that in New Godflow, Pusha says that he is coming to be to Ye what Shine
I came aboard for just one round with 99 when Puff would
was to Diddy back in 19.
It's so weird seeing rappers rap about Diddy now. It makes you think, did they know what was going on Partis? Did they know the nigga was, he was hosting freak offs? He was he had 1,000 bottles of baby. What the fuck was he doing with 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Like, you only need one bottle for like 5-10 people, and you ain't even getting how much baby oil would cover an entire human bodies. I say one bottle of baby oil covering about like 30 people, head to toe. Like if they completely bald, and you just rub it down on the entire body, all the way down to the soles of their feet, about 30 people, maybe 30 to 45, depending on the height. Yeah, the height does matter. The height, the body fat percentage, average height women, average height men. So about like 20 dudes, 20 men, 15 women. So like 45.
9.
35. I don't know how much.
I.e. a hot-headed shooter metaphorically of course. So Push used his lines on New God Flow to say that he wants to take Wayne, Birdman and Drake's heads, following it up with a line, fuck 'em yay, I wouldn't piss on him with Grand Marinade, which I personally think is another cryptic reference to a 2010 incident where one of T.I.
Oh man, that's another fucking thing, bro. How did this nigga get pissed on? This nigga got pissed on. Oh, bro, I don't know if I'm gonna watch all of these Drake beefs because it's just the same dumbass shit that constantly happens to him. That this nigga is just a fucking do-bad, bro. Bro, this nigga is a fucking bro, this nigga's a fucking peon, bro. This nigga Drake is a fucking goofy, bro. This nigga got pissed on. Nigga got slapped. He got the shit slapped out of him by Diddy. Like, bro, the nigga... bro. This nigga got pissed on.
His buddy allegedly pissed, that's right, pissed, on Drake at a movie theater.
This nigga got pissed on, bro. The nigga got pissed.
And after getting the R. Kelly treatment, apparently Drake ran out of the movie theater like a little bitch because he didn't want that smoke with T.I.'s boys.
Bro, I heard that the nigga, well, it was a video that I watched that T.I., he was talking about it. He said that his homie was drunk. He said his homie was drunk and just pissed on Drake.
Not very mob-tied, is it? Pound cake, man's moving like a urinal cake out here. But hey, it's unconfirmed that that's what that line is specifically referencing. But hey, even Drake will tell you himself that Pusha T is one of the smartest lyricists in the game. Now, obviously this violation wasn't gonna slide. So in September 2013, Drake drops his song Tuscan Leather. I hope he wiped the piss off his jeans before he sat on that leather. Anyway, this song seemingly contains lines pointed at Push, responding to his lyrics on Exodus and New God Flow. He says he's just as famous as his mentor, referring to his relationship with Lil Wayne, potentially inferring that Pusha T hasn't reached the heights of his mentor Kanye, and then adding with reference to Lil Wayne, but that's the boss, so don't get sent for, suggesting that his loyalty is still with Wayne and that those disrespecting Wayne can catch some heat. And Drake goes on to drop several more tough guy lines, suggesting that he's not to be messed with by the likes of Push and Kanye, saying that his ops are jumping in front of bullets not meant for them, a possible warning to Pusha.
Get hype for the tracks. Oh, I like Tuscan Leather. Get hype on tracks and jump in front of a bullet that wasn't meant for it because you don't really want him even.
Not to defend Kanye or he might catch a stray, and saying that he has a hot temper so the outcome of this beef will be scary for.
That nigga has a big ego and a lot of insecurities. That's what Drake has. That nigga, that's why he has a hot temper.
Pusha. Going on to say that people are hating on Drake for no reason, but he's about to give them a reason. And
what?
Saying that his enemies are.
I always let my mouth run. Bench players like. Bro, nah, this is top tier Drake. This is top 10, top 5. This is probably Drake's best lyrics. Bench players talking like starters. I hate it.
Just bench players sitting around running their mouth like they think they're starter players. Perhaps suggesting that Pusha T isn't really pulling his weight musically over at good music. And then Drake says, Tom Ford Tuscan Leather smelling like a brick. Degenerates, but even Ellen love our shit. Now, of course, the song is named Tuscan Leather after that famous Tom Ford fragrance, but it's possible that line smelling like a brick could be a gentle nod to the fact that Pusha T built his whole career off of rapping about bricks of coke. Following that with the line degenerates, maybe he's saying his own crew are degenerates, or maybe he's saying that those people that are concerned with selling bricks are degenerates, followed with the line even Ellen loves our shit, a possible hint towards the fact that Pusha T's drug dealer raps never went mainstream. And in the next line, Drake makes it very clear that this song is aimed at those people hating on him, but not naming names, saying that he's gonna silence his haters, and he's too busy to worry about what they're saying anyway. And then he drops another line that could easily be interpreted as being aimed at Pusha's referring to 90s fantasies, which again could be another close diss aimed at Pusha T, suggesting that all of his raps are just dated references to his potentially embellished past of being a drug dealer in the 90s. Drake is suggesting that he has really made his own dreams come true, while Push is still just sitting around reminiscing on his unproven drug dealer past. Now look, some of that is reaching, but for all of the hate that Drake gets for having ghostwriters, stuff like.
Wait, so you used to listen to the nigga music religiously? Just to come out and be like, nigga, you ain't really sell drugs.
This seems very personal to him, and the shit that Drake does write seems to be very well thought out, layered, deep, and extremely pointed at the people he's had issues with. But as slick as those bars were, you must never underestimate the ruthlessness of the Pusha T 1000. Around a month.
Drake goes back to back. Oh, Pusha T goes back to back on Drake.
Around a month after Drake's Tuscan Leather dropped in October 2013, Pusha T clapped back on the Pharrell-produced track Suicide, a track
Okay, so this beef has been lingering way longer than it actually happened.
that seems clearly aimed at Drake due to the lyrics that seem to refer to his song titles like headlines, as well as
I build mine off of Fed time and dope lines. You call steam off of headlines and cosigns.
as inferring to the fact that Drake built his career off the back of Wayne and Baby. Push went on to drop a line suggesting,
Young niggas clicking up with my rivals. Like the Bible don't burn. Like these bullets don't spiral.
that people are ganging up with his rivals to go against him, going on to say, like I can't see the scenes that you mirror in your idol, but a porn's only purpose is completely suicidal, seemingly suggesting that he can see Drake mirroring the situation that Pusha already had with Lil Wayne, and or suggesting that Drake will end up mirroring the contractual dispute situation that Wayne had with Birdman, a line which Pusha T later elaborated on a little more with Genius, saying that he felt the likes of Lil Wayne and Birdman were using the new blood Drake as a pawn in their existing beef.
I feel like my rivals use these youngins to do things like that, you know, and they'll use their popularity and so on and so on.
Nah, I can see Pusha T's outfits now. I feel like he wears like Supreme and like he wears like skater fits. Like he dressed like a skater. That's why I think he dresses like.
So forth. And that's why I was like, a pawn's only purpose is completely suicidal. Like, you know, I might just have to off the pawns too.
Now, this didn't get an immediate response from Drake, and so Push continued prodding Cash Money like he was trying to check a fake bill, dropping the track More Famous Than Rich at the end of 2015 on his King Push Darkest Before Dawn The Prelude album. The track itself has been interpreted as yet another sneak diss towards Drake and Wayne, with the overall suggestion of the entire song suggesting that if
you'd rather be more famous than rich, play your role. It's easy acting like Mitch. You'd rather be more famous than rich. Nah, niggas, hey, play your role. It's easy like Mitch.
If you're down with a label like Cash Money, they're gonna end up stealing all your cash money, regardless of how famous
Talking about the acting role, Money Mitch from Paid Fool.
You might end up, hence the term More Famous Than Rich. Of course, with that in mind, regardless song suggesting that if you're down with a label like Cash Money, they're gonna end up stealing all your cash money, regardless of how famous you might end up, hence the term More Famous Than Rich. Of course, with that in mind, Pusha T went on to drop lines.
Paid in Full, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Money Making Mitch. That's top tier movies right there. Paid in Full was more than a reading script. Paid in Full is ready, just being rich.
Referencing being paid in full, which we assume that Drake and Wayne are not since they're in business with Birdman, and of course the verses included more lines interpreted as.
See, this nigga Traveler Ross don't know what paid in full is, bro. The nigga missed it, bro.
Drake disses. Lines about songs have man, what line might end up.
See, bro.
Hence the term More Famous Than Rich. Of course, with that in mind, Pusha T went on to drop lines referencing being paid in full, which we assume that Drake and Wayne are not since they're in business with Birdman, and of course the verses included more lines interpreted as Drake disses. Lines about songs having dances, a likely reference to Drake's iconic dance from Hotline Bling that was released the summer before this song. And Pusha T even dragged
That nigga was really stepping in them big ass Timbs and that tight ass puffer jacket.
Drake's iconic dance from Hotline Bling
Nah, that nigga wasn't stepping at all. Nigga could barely pick up his fucking.
that was released the summer before this song. And Pusha T even dragged another former Young Money Big Cat into the beef, saying that he thought Tyga was a genius for leaving Cash Money. And Pusha T confirmed this is exactly what he meant in an annotation on Genius.com. He doubles down on that sentiment with lines saying why the biggest rappers in the game broke, which seems to me much more aimed at Wayne than Drake, since there's never really been any suggestion that Drake is not completely filthy rich, even in spite of him getting shafted by Birdman. The next line suggests that rap fans have been lied to by the likes of Forbes about Birdman and Lil Wayne's wealth.
Woo! The rap fans got hoaxed through it.
A line which Pusha T confirmed once again with Genius. Now, not only had Lil Wayne already tapped out of this beef with Pusha T in 2013 after Ghoulish flopped, but even if he did want to respond, he
Wait, so Tyga don't really fuck with Young Money, Cash Money, YMCMB.
Couldn't, since by this point he was already beefing with Birdman about his contract and he couldn't even release music. And before Drake even had a chance to clap back with more sneak disses, Pusha T was going back to back on Drake. And not just with bars either, but in a series of very smart chess moves. Pusha T gets promoted to the president of Good Music and swiftly brings under Good Music management none other than former Cash Money artist genius Tiger. But then beyond industry backroom finesses, Pusha T then
This nigga Tiger was really going around telling everybody the business. Shit.
backs his beef with music. In October 2016, dropping the track HGTV, sneaking shots at Drizzy once again on a cool disjointed Mike Will Made It beat. And even though Pusha has claimed that his line in this song about jokers at the top being a simple
This nigga Pusha T cover art always looked like some goddamn horror movie shit. Jokers at the top know the Kings is nothing to play with.
Batman reference, I ain't buying it. I think he's referring to Drake out of the gate with this song, and he's too smart not to have realized just how that line was going to be taken. Too smart for your own good, Push. At the end of the song, he drops bars that are clearly pointed at Drake, saying the game is too far gone when the realist ain't real. Too Far Gone, of course, one of Drake's classic tapes, calling the
bro, he just killing him off the 2 bars that I'm seeing, bro. Like,
Cash
these niggas Call of Duty because their killings ain't
Money Crew some Call of Duty Nigels because their killings ain't real, then finally dropping another line yet again calling Drake's pen game questionable.
So with a questionable pen, so feelings ain't real.
Yet another reference to the ghostwriting allegations that are still dogging Drake's career.
What year are we in? What year of the era of this beef is like?
To this day. Push then contrasts Drake's ghostwriting ways with his own superior pen game, comparing himself to the author John Grisham, ironically something that Drake had done himself in his past career back when he did a Swagger Like Us freestyle. Push then elaborates to say that the rap game bar has been duly lowered, a direct rebuttal of Drake's line in
I just said the bar niggas fall under like a limbo.
Tuscan Leather, where he said that he sets the bar and people fall under it. With Push finishing out the track confirming that he is so top 5, once again another direct rebuttal from Drake's lines in Dreams Money Can Buy about Pusha falling out of his top 5. Frankly, a heavyweight response from Pusha, and by this point we've not heard a great deal of rebuttal from Drake. But eventually Drake stepped up to the plate and went at Push for the team, dropping a significant escalation that would lead to the fiery crescendo of this rap beef.
Don't tell me it's W Freestyle.
It's Chrissy Teigen inviting you to listen to my new Audible original podcast, Self-Conscious with Chrissy Teigen.
That nigga say, how dare you put yay in my verses? I'm selfish. I won't honor the curses. I'm rebooking the churches.
In October 2016, Drake released the song Two Birds, One Stone, a track apparently directed at Pusha T and Kid Cudi, and maybe low-key Kanye too. Obviously, we know that the Drake-Kanye West Cold War has been raging on at this point, and Kid Cudi had already involved himself in this beef previously, piping up on Twitter in response to Lil Wayne.
Fuck Pusha T and anybody that love him. God dang it, Wayne. Now that nigga just came out and said it on Twitter, like, fuck Pusha T and anybody that love him.
Kid Cudi had already involved himself in this beef previously, piping up on Twitter in response to Lil Wayne, saying fuck Pusha T and anybody that love him, replying saying fuck
I love my nigga Pusha T. Fuck anybody who feel different. We ain't hoes out here. Nah, that nigga Kid Cudi moving.
Anybody that don't like Push. However, the Drake Kid Cudi beef, that's for another day.
Drake and Kid Cudi? Oh my gosh. What the fuck? This nigga beefing with everybody. Bro, at a point, it's like, if everybody got a problem with you, maybe you're the problem. I don't know. Don't shoot me, nigga. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't, hey, hold up, nigga. I know you're tough.
If you want me to cover that, go follow me on Instagram at TrapLordRoss and drop me a DM saying that you want to hear that Drake Cudi beef. So anyway.
This nigga got beef with Kid Cudi, Pusha T, Pharrell, Kendrick, Tyga, apparently.
Wait, the track Two Birds, One Stone is the stone, and the two birds that Drake is referring to are Pusha T and Kid Cudi. And the song's name itself has also been interpreted as a little bit of a subtle diss towards Pusha T, as of course birds are a colloquial term for bricks of cocaine. You know, the stuff that Pusha T claims to have sold a bunch of. And for the record, with that metaphor in mind, some people have even suggested that this song is actually going after 3 people, 2 fake drug dealers, Pusha T and Meek Mill, them being the bricks, and 1 stoner being Kid Cudi, the stone. But I mean, whatever, take it how you want, because this song's most important target was Pusha T. And what could possibly be a more disrespectful birthday present for somebody that spent their entire life reliant on their reputation as an ex-drug dealer than a song casting doubt on the authenticity of that drug dealing past? So once Drake gets into it, he takes aim at Pusha directly, saying, "But really it's you with all the drug dealer stories. That's gotta stop though. You made a couple chops, now you think that you chopo. If you ask me though, you ain't lying in the trunk with kilos." And lines like, "This what we need to be on, but you never went live. You middleman in this shit. Boy, you were never them guys. I can tell because most of you look dead in your eyes and you'll be trying to sell that story for the rest of your lives." Hey, for once, these lyrics don't need much interpretation. He's clearly going at Pusha, doubting his dope boy credentials, which whether or not you believe it, is pretty disrespectful. Now, for the record, many people point to the fact that the Clips' former manager, Anthony Jeezy Gonzalez, got indicted as part of a massive cocaine ring as proof of the fact that Pusha T and the Clips were really connected to the real dons in the dope game. I mean, this guy allegedly imported a ton
Clips ex-manager charged with leading $10 million drug ring. Anthony Jeezy Gonzalez faces 82 counts indictment for drug trafficking. Shaheem Reed, 04-28-09. Anthony Jeezy Gonzalez. That nigga was black as hell talking about his last name was Gonzalez. Who at the time was the lead manager for hip-hop duo The Clips, has been charged with leading a $10 million drug ring and will face an 82 count indictment for drug trafficking.
Ton of weed, an actual ton, and 100 pounds of blow into Virginia from South America. Jeezy actually got 32 years in jail after pleading guilty. And sure, Pusha T and Malice's specific proximity to that dope dealing operation have always been up for debate, but let's keep it 100. Pusha T was around this shit. But again, that's a story for another day. But anyway, Drake goes on further, suggesting that Pusha T's bank balance doesn't match his kingpin backstory. Just one final sprinkle of salt on a delicious sauteed bed of beef. Now, naturally, Pusha T does not take kindly to Drake's suggestion that he was never a real dope dealer, so he quickly replied to Drake's allegations, but not in song form, with an excellent complex cover story. Now, this was actually a really well-written and genuinely interesting long-form article, with its main focus on the systemic incarceration of young black men.
Okay, yo, we doing something positive. Instead of, you know what I'm saying, pushing negativity into the world, we doing something positive. Let's go.
Seemingly tied to Pusha T's ongoing support of Hillary Clinton's election campaign around this time, as part of his ongoing efforts to get involved with the prison reform agenda. Now, I personally think that Hillary should have let Pusha T write her a few speeches, because maybe then she'd have won that beef with Trump. But anyway, in this article, Pusha T explains how him and his friends got into the dope game as kids, also inferring that when the Clips' record sales slumped in 2006, for a short period of time he even had to slip back into his old ways, playing around in the dope game, and discussing how when that manager, Anthony Jeezy Gonzalez, was picked up by the feds, many of Pusha's friends went down too, even saying that that indictment specifically stated that drug money had been laundered through many legal businesses associated with Pusha T.
This nigga just wrote. This nigga was just openly talking about incriminating shit, like,
including the Clip.
I understand they already went to jail for that, and they got a, you know what I'm saying, sentence booked and all that other shit, right? You know what I'm saying? They already got their shit going on, right? But to come out and talk about like how y'all was doing it, what y'all was doing, when y'all was doing it, it's kind of like, nigga, what?
Clips' booking agency. In fact, it was these events that actually preceded Pusha's brother and partner in the Clips,
Hey, niggas probably would have put it in a song anyway, so I guess.
Changing his name to No Malice and completely disavowing drugs and violence. And again, that's a whole other story. Now, I was disappointed that at no point in this interview does Pusha give us the real truth. The fact that none of his dope dealing past is true, and he was really just sent back in time from the year 3000 to kill Drake's career before he had a chance to ruin hip-hop history forever.
I need your gun, your beats, and your owl pendant.
But really though, Pusha ends the interview explosively rebuffing Drake's claims, once and for all in the most stern fashion possible, saying my past is cemented, my past happened, like slavery happened, like the Holocaust happened, and going on to suggest that Drake should be ashamed of being associated with the sentiments in the track Two Birds, One Stone, saying you cannot deny something that really happened. Now, the gravity of Pusha's words in this One Stone.
I heard something. He said simultaneously playing and dismissal when I asked him again about Two Birds, One Stone. And the internet chattered that Drake lines were directed at Pusha, questioning the street bona fides of his past. I would never ever attribute that song to myself. My past is cemented. My past happened like slavery happened. The Holocaust happened. you can't ever question anything that actually happened.
Saying you cannot deny something that really happened. Now, the gravity of Pusha's words in this interview came down with the weight of an OVO tour bus full of BBWs on the way to Drake's mansion, with Pusha T ending the interview very ominously. When he's asked if he believes...
Did Drake really fuck BBWs? Like, let's keep it a beam, bro. You know what I'm saying? That nigga be capping.
Believes that Drake's lines in that song were truly directed at him, he says, "It ain't real if it's about me." Now, it's a good thing that...
Infrared. I haven't heard Infrared.
Now, it's a good thing that Pusha T managed to get a bit of a response across in that complex interview after Two Birds, One Stone released. Because due to the long-winded...
Fuck it, I'm gonna listen to Infrared after this. Kanye West is hospitalized for a psychiatric emergency.
Process of Kanye West having his first mental breakdown within a couple of months of that diss dropping, combined with the fact that once Kanye did recover, his work on Pusha T's next album was plagued with delays. His third solo album was supposed to be King Push, with that previous album being the prelude to King Push, but due to so many delays, Pusha T ended up renaming this album Daytona, an obvious nod to his favorite line of Rolex watches, but also using this timepiece title as a metaphor for having the luxury of time. And considering what this album contained in regards to Drake, I wouldn't be surprised if this title was yet another coded message about the excruciatingly long period of time that it had taken Pusha to reply to Drake's diss song, which was over a year prior. Or maybe the timepiece metaphor is really referring to the amount of time that it took Pusha to come up with what ended up being the most devastating set of chess moves the rap game has ever seen. Now, Daytona was entirely produced by Kanye West, which in itself is significant when you consider the Cold War that had been going on between Drake and Kanye at this point. Now, Drake and Ye's beef had seemingly been called to a truce for a short period as Drake flew out to Wyoming to take part in a reconciliatory recording session with Kanye, a session that we now know ended up going a little south. But before we even get into that devastating diss track from Daytona, Infrared, a lot of people overlook the fact that Pusha T was already pre-beefing with Drake on the penultimate track of that Daytona album, What Would Meek Do? An obvious nod to Drake's other most famous op, Meek Mill, and a track which in my opinion is massively overlooked in the Drake-Pusha T beef saga, as that track starts out with a Kanye-initiated lyric trolling Drake's earlier lines.
Niggas talking shit, Push. How do you respond? I'm top 5 and all of them dealing.
About Pusha T falling out of his top 5. Kanye says, "They talking shit, Push, how do you respond?" Push says, "I'm top 5 and all of them Dylon." Dylon, of course, a reference to the famous delusional rapper from P. Diddy's reality show Making the Band.
"I'm making history right now. Don't try to water me down and change my style."
Of course, this iconic clown being immortalized forever by Dave Chappelle's impression of him on Chappelle's show.
Who are the 5 best rappers of all time? Dylon, 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 and Dylon.
And the Chappelle Show reference is even more relevant because let's not forget the fact that earlier on, Pusha T compared Drake's relationship with ghostwriters to Dave Chappelle's relationship with his co-writer Neil Brennan, tying everything together in a neat little package. God damn, Push, you're a mastermind.
Wait. Dave Chappelle got... Hold on, what the fuck? Neil Bennett.
He goes on to drop the line from the song's title, asking what would Meek do in the same situation as Push. Of course, in this case, Pusha is referring to Meek popping wheelies and
I gotta do my research on that one.
Telling the judge to put it in their mouth. I personally think that here Pusha T is really saying what would Meek do if it came to exposing Drake. And of course, we know exactly what Meek did, airing out Drake's dirty laundry on Twitter.
Stop comparing Drake to me, too. He don't write his own raps. That's why he ain't tweet my album because we found out. That hit 135,000 retweets in 2015, nigga? Oh, man.
Twitter and exposing him to initiate their ill-fated beef after he found out that Drake had used a ghostwriter on their collab track, Rico. But here's where it gets deep, because in the second verse, Pusha returns that same question to Kanye. "They talking shit, Ye? How do you respond?" And Kanye says, "Poop, poopity scoop." Another obvious reference to the fact that during, "How do you respond?"
Poop, scoop, whoop, whoop, you do whoop, this good.
Bond. And Kanye says, "Poop, poopity scoop." Another But obvious reference to the fact that during Kanye and Drake's beef, Kanye took the beat Lift Yourself that Drake had said he wanted to record on and decided to release it publicly with him shouting a bunch of poopity-scoop gibberish over it just to troll Drake. Now this line once again seems like a very pointed diss towards Drake, perhaps placed in this song.
Nah, Kanye versus Drake is gonna fucking feed families, gang. I know they had beef. But what you don't know is they actually I don't think they really had like full-blown diss tracks to each other. Like the Kanye versus Drake beef has never been like, you know, like diss track, you know what I'm saying?
Specifically by Pusha T to involve
That's what feed families, you know what I'm saying? If I was Kanye, I'd get Pusha T and Kendrick as my ghostwriters because Kanye's pen may not be that great. And then Drake obviously is gonna have his ghostwriters and shit. But Kanye production, nobody's fucking with Kanye. No, Kanye can make a beat instrumental and still kill that nigga, bro.
Of Kanye in the beef. But anyway, what Would Meet do was the perfect setup for the 1-2 punch that Pusha was about to deliver with that final track from Daytona, Infrared. Now, Infrared is so laden with obvious Drake disses that you should just go and listen to it yourself now because it needs so little interpretation. What's really important about Infrared isn't the specific lines that Pusha is using to diss Drake, but it's the fronts on Drake's character that Pusha T is choosing to attack. And looking at this allows us to
I'm gonna listen to Infrared after this.
See what a smart chess move releasing Infrared was because of the sheer amount of foreshadowing in there for what was about to come after. Firstly, Pusha accuses Drake of using ghostwriters, naming Drake's alleged ghostwriter Quentin Miller by name, leaving no room
The game's fucked up. Niggas beats is banging. Niggas
for doubt as to who exactly this track is taking aim at. Secondly, he questions Drake's blackness, referencing how
Shit, remember Will Smith won the first Grammy and they ain't recognize Hova until Annie? So I don't tap dance for crackers and sing Mammy.
Jay-Z didn't get the recognition
because I'm supposed to juggle these flows and knows
he deserved until he sampled Annie on the track Hard Knock Life, with Push saying that he doesn't tap dance for crackers, essentially suggesting that Drake has had to betray his roots in
niggas do be tap dancing. Oh my
order
God.
to go mainstream. He goes on to reiterate that he was right all along about Birdman shafting people for money, and shouted out Rick Ross for being one of the few people that had the gall to call out Birdman on his behavior, saying it pains him to see Wayne broke on tour trying to make ends meet. And then finally he rebuffs Drake's claims that Pusha T embellished his drug dealing past, saying the only rapper that sold more dope than him was Eazy-E. Now Infrared is a strong diss from Push, but the thing is here, it doesn't really cover that much new ground. The smart move here was going at Drake no more viciously than he had done in the past, but much more specifically. This was a diss that was so clearly pointed at Drake in a way that was obvious to everybody that there was no way Drake couldn't respond. And Drake would make an immediate reply. But in doing so, he opened up a whole can of worms that would soon spill down his front like a bunch of pissy baked beans in a screening for Cars 2.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
Hey, how long will this take? I'm kind of in a rush.
Oh, just 10 minutes.
Get out! 10 minutes? Y'all are like...
A well-oiled machine.
I was gonna go there, but then it felt obvious.
Now, to his credit, Drake rode out on the metaphorical op block the very same day, coming back with an instant rebuttal, swiftly dropping his reply, the Duppy freestyle. The title Duppy being a neat little reference to the 2006 diss that British grime rapper Skepta did on Mega Man, not necessarily helping Drake with the old culture vulture allegations that Push even mentioned himself on Infrared. Anyway, while I personally do actually like the Duppy freestyle, and I genuinely think that Drake raps and wrote very well on the song, he majorly fucked up from the very beginning. Because as we learned in the video about Drake and Kanye's beef, Drake used the majority of his airtime on this Duppy response, taking pot shots at Kanye West. This mainly being due to wanting to point out the hypocrisy of Pusha dissing Drake for using ghostwriters, when Drake had literally just been in Wyoming ghostwriting for Kanye's Ye album. Even elsewhere in the song, Drake is going much harder at Kanye than he is at Pusha. For example, dissing Kanye for being jealous of Virgil Abloh. Problem here is that rather than hitting two birds with one stone, he barely grazes either of these birds to take home a single W. In this song, he barely has any lines that are scathing towards Pusha T, flipping flipping the infrared title, saying that Pusha T's head is now in Drake's beam, and once again referencing that beaten to death put down about Pusha T not being in his top 5 anymore, suggesting that Pusha T isn't even top 5 on his own record label, and doubling down on doubting Pusha T's street credentials, saying the real drug dealers were Pusha T's cousin and brother, and saying that Pusha T just raps about what they did. And then in my opinion, Drake kind of takes a subtle L here, admitting that Pusha T might have sold some blow to buy sneakers and a Mercedes, but then saying that he's no Pablo Escobar. Now Drake, Pusha T never claimed to be selling blow like Escobar. He's always made it clear that he got in the dope game for fly cars and fly fashion. So at this point in the beef, Drake is really beginning to sound kind of dithering and uninformed, reaching for the same old tired lines that he'd used on Pusha T before. Though I've got to give Drake credit, the one smart thing that he did do was get ahead of a potential put down about him owning that signed Pusha T mic back in the day, saying, "I had a microphone of yours, but the signature faded. I think that pretty much resembles what's been happening lately." He then goes on to diss Pusha T for being older than Kanye, and now at the end of the song, he dropping in lately. He then goes
I really shouldn't have given you none of my time because you're older than a nigga that you're
on to diss Pusha T for being older than Kanye, and now at the end of the song, he drops a very lackluster line, which is the one that Pusha T claims pushed him over the edge. A fairly innocuous line where he refers to Pusha T's fiancée, Virginia Williams, saying he's gonna let it ring on him, because you know, when you propose, you wear a ring. Nice one, Drake. It doesn't really have much bite, does it? But then again, what with Drake's habit of supposedly
I'ma make it ring on you like Virginia Williams.
running around smashing people's wives and girlfriends for revenge.
Bro, this nigga is such a bro. The shit that this nigga do is just god damn, bro. And then his fans would be like, "Oh, they're just jealous because he has more hits than them. Oh, they're just mad because he fucked his wife or he fucked his girlfriend." Yes, I would be mad that a nigga that says that he was cool with me or acts cool in my face was fucking my girl. Fuck that bitch and fuck him.
I could understand why mentioning Pusha T's fiancée by name might have gotten under his skin, but it's the final line of the song that's a poetic moment where the whole Pusha T...
That's not no cool shit. That's some lame ass shit. That's some dork corny ass... That's some... Bro, that shit is lame. This shit is lame, my nigga. This shit is lame. It's not cool, nigga. You don't get no cool points for fucking another nigga, bitch.
Lil Wayne Birdman Cash Money beef finally becomes full circle. As Drake says, "I told Weezy and Baby I'ma done him for ya. Tell Ye we got an invoice coming to ya. Consider him we just sold another 20 for ya." Now this is obviously a reference to the fact that Pusha T has been at Lil Wayne and Birdman's necks for around 12 years at this point. And that line about the invoice has been considered by many to be a deep coded message about the very dispute that kicked off this whole Pusha T Cash Money beef, all to begin with the mythical unpaid invoice for Pharrell's beat on Birdman's Clips collaboration What Happened to That Boy. And I've just got a one time for that song. Even after the beef, Pusha T tweeted at Drake saying send that invoice. And by God, Drake actually sent the invoice to Pusha T, posting it up on his Instagram and
fee $100,000. You're welcome. Ow.
Even tagging Push, with the invoice claiming to be for promotional assistance and career reviving. Oh boy, if only Drake knew just how much career reviving he would need in a few days' time. I think hip-hop fans will
the story of Adidon!
always remember where they were when Pusha T released the Story of Adidon. From the moment that I saw that cover art with Drake in
Damn. Just looking at this shit. Oh, brother. Okay.
full blackface, I knew then, Drizzy.
How the fuck did he find this shit, bro? Like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck, bro? Bro, what the fuck, bro? I'm gonna react to the Daytona album. That shit seemed like it's fire, bro. I ain't gonna cap, bro. Like, depending on how long that shit is. Cause I'm not a Pusha T fan. And it's not by it's by choice. I'm gonna just be honest.
He had fucked up.
Nah, I never really listened to Pusha T if I'm thinking about it.
Time. And from the moment that you press
it's by choice. That nigga ruined one Kanye song. I forget what it is. And I love that Kanye song. Runaway. It's Runaway. That nigga, bro. Kanye should have left that nigga off of Runaway. Bro, fuck no. That's why I'm not a Pusha T fan. By choice, my nigga. Maybe that nigga can revive it with Daytona. I'm listening to Daytona.
Play on that song, line on.
Fucking, oh no. Shit. Thinking about the Runaway feature.
After scathing line from Pusha T, each hit like another nail in Drake's coffin. And look, nobody can end Drake's career except for those young girls. He's too big to fail. But the story of Adidon was...
Besides those young girls, how old is this video? 4 years ago.
Public spin. And look, nobody can end Drake's career except for those young girls. He's...
Bro, this shit is like poetic, bro. Not poetic, but like prophetic. Prophetic? Is that the word?
Too big to fail. But the story of Adidon was public humiliation dialed up to 10. Disrespect that the most popular rapper in human history thought that he was completely above. So let's break it down. Pusha starts off combining that
drug dealer aside, ghostwriting aside. Let's have a heart-to-heart about your pride. Even though you multi, see that your soul don't look alive. The M's cut different with baby defines the pie. Wait. Let's examine why.
Disrespectful cover-up with lyrics attacking Drake's mixed race heritage. And don't forget, this is something that Pusha was teeing up for in Infrared with the lines about tap dancing for crackers. And before we get into the big huggies wearing elephant in the room, let's talk about Pusha T rebuffing that line about his fiancée Virginia Williams. As Pusha T suggests,
Dennis Graham, stay off the ground, bitch, I'm on. You mentioned the wedding ring like it's a bad thing. Your father walked away a 5 hell of a dad thing. Marriage is something that Miss said he never had, Drake. How you a winner if she keep coming in last place? Monkey suit, Dennis, you parade him.
That from this line, he feels like Drake talks about marriage like it's a bad thing. Once again, referencing Drake's father walking out on him and suggesting that Drake doesn't look after his mum. But the reason Pusha brings up Drake's dad isn't just to perpetuate an unfair stereotype, but it's actually to prod further at Drake's own complicated relationship with his race, seemingly suggesting that he parades his black father around in public, despite the fact that he walked out on Drake as a kid and betrayed him, suggesting
he wasn't black enough.
Suggesting that Drake is doing this to improve his image as a black man because, as Pusha puts it, he never felt black enough.
Bro, Drake is obviously like insecure about his race, bro. It's like obvious, bro. It's like not even like he's insecure, bro. Very insecure.
Now, not really something that I'm qualified to psychoanalyze at all, but my god does that sound very disrespectful. And speaking of disrespect, near the end of the song, Pusha T says that Drake's day one friend and producer 40...
Now this was fucked up. OVO 40 hunched over me like he 80. Tick, tick, tick. How much time that man, he got his 666. I got the double flow nigga 666.
is hunched over like he's 80 and dying. A reference to 40's ongoing battle with multiple sclerosis. Now, for the record, I just
said I got the devil flow nigga 666.
want to say it's clear that Pusha T is using this information against Drake as a diss, but I don't...
Boy, you hell, Pusha T. Boy, you hell. Nah, why niggas always turn up when they go against Drake, bro? Niggas always... They always go in a deeper bag when it's against Drake, bro.
I think there's anything here to suggest that...
Nah, that nigga Drake really, like, motivates niggas to just really, like, ugh, I hate you.
Pusha T...
Hate is a good motivator, bro.
He was wishing death on 40 or mocking his illness. It sounds more to me that if you really look at this line, Pusha is prodding Drake to say, hey, your golden boy beatmaker that makes your hits won't be here for long, and when that happens, your hit records are gonna dry up. Which, hey, in some ways is almost a little bit of an underhanded compliment to 40's beatmaking abilities. He is genuinely very good. And 40 actually responded to this line in a very classy way, simply sharing the fact that the following day after this song dropped was World MS Day. And look, I know that Drake loves to cling on to this particular line about 40 as the moment that the beef went too far and Push wished death on another man.
You know, wishing like that my friend that has an illness like dies. Like, that shit to me is just not really wavy.
Hey, come on, let's be real. All is fair in love and beef. And I personally believe that Drake's fixation on how disrespectful this particular line was is really just a flimsy tactic of trying to...
There ain't no fucking rules. It ain't no too far, nigga. It ain't no too far, bitch.
Steer the conversation away from that devastating love child reveal. But of course, all of that trash talk was simply window dressing for the main diss here, which was Pusha T's supposed reveal that Drake had a secret child, naming Drake's baby mother as former French glamour model Sophie Brousseau.
Since you name dropped my fiance, let them know who you chose as your Beyonce. Sophie knows better as your baby mother. Cleaned her off her IG, but stenches on her.
and revealing her past as an adult film star, insulting her background and suggesting that Drake tried to clean up her image. Push goes on to suggest that Drake is being finessed on child support before truly going for the jugular and suggesting that Drake himself is an absentee father like his was, all because he won't let Sophie Brousseau and Adonis into his life. And then Push goes on to reveal Drake's son's name to the world, along with the supposed info that Drake was planning to reveal his kid to the world as part of an Adidas range called Adidon. And this came months.
Nah, he had to get this info from Kanye. He said, Pusha T said that he got it from a girl that was fucking on 40 and 40 was pillow talking. So 40 was fucking a girl and pillow talking. The girl gave it to Pusha T. Pusha T said that's how he got the information. But that don't make sense. Because how the fuck do you know about the Adidas drop and collab? He had to get it from Kanye because Kanye is tapped in with Adidas at the time.
After it was rumored that Drake was leaving his Nike deal for Adidas, but of course now we know that never happened. I mean, look, this is completely scathing stuff from the Pusha T 1000 here. I mean, has anyone ever been more disrespectful in a rap beef than this? I mean, I swear there's no other way to look at it other than Pusha T murdered Drake on every single front.
Nah, the Story of Adidon is the best diss track. The Story of Adidon is the best diss track against Drake. Hands down. Hands down.
Hit him with infrared. Drake quickly clapped back and thought he had it.
It's the Story of Adidon, Euphoria, Not Like Us. Wanna Know, This Is America. Lift Yourself. Kanye, no, I was just playing.
Patterned. And then
the weekend song with Metro Boomin and Future when that nigga said, I thank God I never signed my life away. They shoot us doing TikTok.
Boom, Story of Adidon dropped. Pusha T had Drake bent out of shape and then swimming in a sea of L's. I mean, the Pusha T 1000 knew all of the perfect moves to make in this beef. It was like he could see the past, the future, and everything in between, doing everything he needed to do and drop in the Story of Adidon to ensure that for once and for all, Drake had been duly terminated.
Nah, niggas really do get in their bag when they hate Drake. This shit. They get in that bag. They get in that bag. They get in that bag and they get in their bag. Fuck you talking about? Like, nah. They get that bag because they get in their bag.
Now, before I let you go, I have a couple of theories about this beef that I've not heard many other people share. I truly believe that from the outside, while it looks like Pusha T had explosive inside information about Drake and his personal life, just like a good magician, a lot of what Pusha T actually attacked Drake on was really just based on sleight of hand maneuvers, which Drake clearly didn't see coming. And I believe that in reality, Pusha T never really had that much dirt on Drake. He was really just bluffing and playing a bad hand the entire time. Now, there's been a lot of speculation in the hip-hoposphere as to just how Pusha T got the inside information about Drake's secret love child. Drake inferred that Pusha got the information from Kanye West when he was talking with LeBron James on The Shop, of course after having famously visited Kanye's Wyoming studio around the same time that Pusha T had.
And so, I was in the studio. I guess, we all kind of felt a genuine vibe from it. In Wyoming, I play him March 14th. I send him a picture of my son.
Now, Pusha T rebuffed this theory when he was on the Joe Budden podcast, saying that he got the info secondhand from a woman that Drake's producer 40 had supposedly been pillow talking with.
The information came from 40. It didn't come from Kanye. 40 is sleeping with a woman who begins to, he talks to her daily, 5-6 hours a day.
Oh, she must have a great personality.
Yeah, bruh. With that also came the fact that Drake has a child.
However, I personally don't buy that either. I've got absolutely no proof of this, but I honestly believe that Pusha T is just saying this to mess with Drake's head and make him doubt his own camp. Because the Story of Adidon dropped on May the 29th, 2018, and because of how explosively Pusha T seemed to expose Drake's hidden child, it came off to most casual listeners as if Pusha T had this big insider info. But the very idea that Drake was hiding his child is kind of an overstatement, because outlets like TMZ were already reporting on these rumors as early as 2017, openly suggesting that Drake had a paternity suit brewing with
See, the nigga was lying.
Sophie Brousseau.
He was hiding his fucking son.
Long before Pusha T had ever rapped about it. And this is including paparazzi pictures of them together in Amsterdam, supposedly around the time Drake put that baby in her. Even back in 2017, TMZ supposedly had the text.
I want you to have an abortion. I can't kill my baby simply to indulge you. Sorry. Indulge me. Fuck you. What? You do know what you're doing. You think you're gonna get money.
Between Drake and Sophie Brousseau, where he was pressuring her to hit Apple Q on that fetus. Elsewhere in that same...
Nah, this shit is, this is fucking crazy. I want you to have an abortion. I wonder how many women this nigga Drake has said that to. But you niggas don't think like that. Niggas don't put their thinking caps on. Imagine how many niggas Drake had, hopefully he ain't said that to niggas. But I wonder how many women Drake has said, hey, go ahead and get that abortion. I'll wire you 100. I'll wire you 100. Yeah, go ahead, the baby. I wonder how many of them said, no, I'm not doing it. Hey, that nigga Anthony Edwards going through some shit right now.
Drake and Sophie Brousseau, where he was pressuring her to hit Apple Q on that fetus. Elsewhere in that same 2017 article, there's another line suggesting that Sophie Brousseau had had a fling with another rapper around this time. Hell, who knows, maybe in another world this kid could have ended up ASAP Adonis. But of course, the cherry on top of all of this is in that same article, a statement seemingly from Drake's team disparaging Sophie's character, calling her out, saying that she has multiple relationships, a questionable background, and problems getting into the United States. Deadbeat motherfucker playing border patrol indeed. In fact, Adidas deal aside, there's enough in this TMZ article alone to account for a large amount of the lines in the Story of Adidon. Pusha could have written that song with this article alone, no insider info. This to me proves two things. Firstly, Drake's supposed love child was already public knowledge, but people just didn't take as much of an interest in it until it was confirmed. And secondly, Pusha T is a genius, because he weaponized Drake's kid in the beef. Maybe he did have some behind the scenes confirmation that it was indeed true, but at this point Drake's paternity suit didn't have much public profile and Drake had not publicly commented on it. Whether or not Pusha T had read this article and had some specific confirmation that it was true, or he just found the article and knew then that he'd copped the motherload of dirt on Drake, by presenting the rumors that were already out there as true fact, Pusha T weaponized this info. He knew that Drake was trying to hide this information, so Pusha T put him on blast publicly. And Drake was left in a complete lose-lose situation, where he would either be forced to respond and say that it was untrue, or take the L and say that it was true. Any which way you look at it, Drake is taking an L. The info had already been out there for a year, but most people didn't know this until Pusha T put it on wax in an explosive and entertaining fashion. Because information that's just circulating on TMZ and gossip racks is essentially worthless until someone like Pusha T comes along, weaponizes it, and uses it to beat Drake half to death in front of the whole world. And in many ways, Drake and his team sealed their own fate by being so disrespectful to Sophie Brousseau back when this story was just a rumor. When Pusha drops the line, "Forget she's a porn star, let her be your world," have so much more bite when you look back at that TMZ article and realize that Drake and his team were dragging this woman because of her past in public not even that long ago. Drake brought this situation on himself by dragging an innocent and honest woman's background and character through the mud in front of the whole world just to try and deflect a paternity suit. Not a good look on Drake's behalf. So regardless of who, how, or why this information ended up leaking to the public, Pusha T handed Drake an enormous capital L just by using this info in the way that he did. Hell, at this point Drake should name his son Adon L. And of course, naturally, with no options and no W's in sight, when it came to Drake's response, we got nothing but
You need the best templates for your videos. Go to Motion Array to get unlimited, easy-to-use templates made
disappointment. Before we go any further, let's just check in and see what Ja Rule has to say about this.
Hey Drake, just do what 50 did in our beef. Call the feds / police and tell them you think Pusha is trying to kill you. Oh my gosh. But Ja got bodied and 50 ended his career. Damn, 50, you be snitching on the low, get the strap.
Okay, great. Really though, after the story of Adidon dropped, Drake had a whole lot of explaining to do. There was the blackface picture, which wasn't such a good look. After releasing it, Pusha T tweeted to say that that image was not artwork, but a real picture, further trying to drag Drake's struggles with his self-identity. And while the response didn't immediately come from Drake, the photographer who took Drake's struggle, T tweeted to say that that image was...
Please stop referring to this picture as artwork. I'm not an internet baby. I do not edit images. This is a real picture. These are his truths. See yourself.
Was not artwork, but a real picture, further trying to drag Drake's struggles with his self-identity. And while the response didn't immediately come from Drake, the photographer who took it began to have his comments bombarded by people referencing this beef. And while he initially...
You know, while we here, bro, put the pic up. As asked Drake, I captured his idea. But you captured it. You could have denied doing it. Hell no. For sure, I took it. I'm proud to be a part of a strong statement made by a black man and about a fucked up culture he was living in.
defended the photos, saying that the shoot was all Drake's idea and his concept, accidental confirmation that the images were indeed genuine. He went on to elaborate that the images were supposed to be part of an art project with the aim of provoking thought around black identity. But the OVO goons probably got in touch with him and applied some pressure, because not long later, the photographer was on Twitter begging Pusha T's manager to take the pictures down, eventually succeeding in getting that original post that Pusha T had put on his Instagram taken down by a DMCA request. Meanwhile, the Jim Crow tee that Drake was wearing in this image was also under fire. Turns out that this was actually as part of a subversive clothing line started by some artists known as Two Black Guys, who also came out to support Drake, saying that the t-shirt design was a political statement. And then finally Drake even came out himself to respond, explaining that the picture was from 2007 when he was still an actor, and the project was an artistic photo shoot, and that what they were trying to do was use blackface to highlight the frustration that young black actors face when struggling to get roles in the industry. Okay, Drake. Many people didn't buy it, including Pusha T, who went and did an interview on 92.3 saying that Drake is silent on all black issues.
You are silent in all black issues, Drake. You really are. Like, you have all the platform in the world. You were so passionate back then. No, you weren't.
In fact, Pusha T went on a mini press run, doing numerous interviews, saying that he was not expecting any reply from Drizzy Drake himself. Even going as far as to say that the story of Adidon was just the first layer, and that if Drake did want to keep going with the beef, he's got multiple layers to pull back on Drake from there.
Listen, I told you at the end of this joint, we can take this slow. I'm just peeling back the first layer.
Now look, I've done some digging, and I feel like I've got a pretty good idea of what Pusha is referring to when he says that he's got other layers of dirt on Drake. But I'm not even gonna get into that stuff because it's very NSFW. All I'll say is there are definitely some hints in the story of Adidon, and if you know, you know. But beyond the disrespect and embarrassment, let's take a look at the financial side. Because after this disastrous diss song, we never saw any Adidas line from Drake. And of course, we now know that he ended up doubling down on his Nike deal in a big way. And Drake even mentioned that he was indeed planning on working with Adidas in his interview with Rap Radar.
At the time, I was working with Adidas, and we were toying with the idea of a name being the play off of a name, off of my son's name.
So it's unclear the extent to which Pusha T's diss track put a stink on Drake's Adidas deal, but it's highly possible that either Drake or Adidas were forced to walk away due to the bad publicity, and you can bet that Pusha T probably cost Drake a pretty penny. And hey, then again, we all know that Pusha T has his own Adidas deal.
Oh, fuck. King Push.
So it's not unthinkable that Drake might have made the decision that he don't.
That nigga said. That nigga took his Adidas deal and made it his own. That nigga Drake said, big as the Super Bowl. Kendrick took his Super Bowl and made it.
Don't want to mess with Adidas, knowing that they support the ops. And of course, one more loose end of this entire beef was Drake's supposed scathing diss track response that never came. As we discussed in the Drake vs. Kanye beef video, Drake had supposedly recorded a devilish response that many said was more aimed at Kanye than Push, with many suggesting that the song would include the suggestion that Drake had piped down Kim Kardashian. However, fortunately for Kanye and Pusha T, Drake's
my goat, bro, not my goat, but Kanye West, one of my favorite artists. Please don't let that be true.
Houston sugar daddy Jay Prince crawled out the woodwork to say that he'd made an OG call and convinced Drake not to release this
That nigga Kanye had nothing to do with this shit.
Devastating diss. Because of course this diss song would have been so good, so devastating to the ops that, oh, they just wouldn't be able to live with themselves. Do the right thing, Drake.
You talked with Drake and you told him to no longer respond.
I don't trust the thing, this ugly ass fucking Kirk Franklin ass looking ass.
And the Pusha T.
Right. Was cocked and loaded. it could have been a career-ending situation where he concerned.
Nigga talk like a corrupted pastor.
And it also could have damaged, I think, a whole lot of livelihood where people are concerned.
Drake later actually backed up this unproven rumor on his appearance on Rap Radar, saying that he felt he was saying things in this supposed diss track that were so bad he wouldn't have wanted to hear himself saying them 2 years later.
And when I was making the record in response, which was a real record, I know people think it's like some myth, and saying things that I don't know if in 2 years I'd want to hear myself say.
But for the record, many of the fans, myself included, and Pusha T, don't really think that Drake had that career-ending response.
No, you fucking didn't. You believe that. I don't believe that.
No, I said I believe he had recorded a record.
Listen, he probably recorded something. Maybe it truly was a career-ending diss track where he spilled the beans on everyone.
Ending his career?
Or maybe it was just a 2-hour recording of him crying in the shower after hearing Adidon. It doesn't matter, because after the Story of Adidon dropped, Drake was done out here. It was over! And even though when Pusha T was in Toronto, a bunch of guys threw beer on him at the stage,
Pusha T concert erupts into violence as Drake fans
stage. Something people have said that Drake paid to make happen, not very mob ties, is it? Ultimately, everything that happened afterwards was completely inconsequential. Drake had to hold this L. He had to. And even when Drake eventually did do that big interview on Rap Radar, he essentially said that the beef was over at the point that that song dropped, even giving credit to Pusha T for the genius chess moves that he had made to this point.
I have no desire to ever mend anything with that person. The information was too shocking. It was, like I said, on his part, it was a genius chess move. He obviously has no, when it comes to me, he's not gonna have any, morals or respect.
I've got to give respect to Drake. At least he's not delusional. And he can even be a big enough man to admit that I've got to give respect.
He obviously had, it was, like I said, on his part, it was a genius chess move. He obviously has no, when it comes to me, he's not gonna have any, morals or respect.
I've got to give respect to Drake. At least he's not delusional. And he can even be a big enough man to admit that he took the enormous L from Pusha T revealing his child in such a humiliating fashion.
So there's not really much I can say better than Drake has a baby. He won. He won off that.
Look, I know what some people are thinking. Oh, Trap Lord Ross, you're such a Drake hater. Oh, this video is so biased, you're just making Pusha T out to be the good guy. Drake is the real MVP, he's got more slaps than the Beatles, Ree! Well, the facts are, Pusha T won this beef. He made 10 years of chess moves to get the drop on Drizzy. He was able to completely devastate Drake with information that was already circulating anyway. But the way he did it was enough to humiliate the biggest rapper that hip-hop has ever seen in his prime. This was the most devastating diss song in hip-hop history. And the Pusha T Drake beef will probably go down as the most iconic beef in hip-hop history. Even if you disagree, we've seen what Pusha T is capable of. Why do you think all the jokes in this video are directed towards Drake? I don't want to get on Pusha T's bad side, would you? I've got too many skeletons in my closet for that shit. So Pusha T is an Drake beef will probably go down as the most iconic beef in hip-hop history. Even if you disagree, we've seen what Pusha T is capable of. Why do you think all the jokes in this video are directed towards Drake? I don't want to get on Pusha T's bad side, would you? I've got too many skeletons in my closet for that shit. So Pusha T is and forever will be the king of rap beef, and he will remain so for the foreseeable future. And I would like to think that even Drake himself could be humble and agree, and at least in some small way be grateful for the role he played in receiving the most iconic L